Welcome to Factorio Base in the Book. My name is Nilaus, so this is the second episode. And first, thank you very much everyone for supporting and following and the encouragement and all the likes and comments and all that good stuff on the very first episode. It is great to see that it is, when I come up with a new series, that it's something that is of interest. And so I will, before we dive in, I'm going to just talk a bit two generic things, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do, and then we'll go in. So the first thing is, you might notice some things here that look a bit strange, like these black spots here. That is because this base is being built in parallel here on YouTube and on Twitch, but everything we do here will be here on YouTube. But it means that this save is coming from my Twitch stream, and on the Twitch stream the users can throw bombs at my base, and which makes it just way more difficult and fun, and can spawn biters around the base. But that's not something we do here on the YouTube episode, because this is focused on the design and delivering awesome blueprints for you to use in your base and serve as inspiration as well. So that's just if you notice that these things are weird, or if you notice some things that are just slightly off, then that's because I'm trying to do a combination here, but in very different ways. So Twitch, it's high levels of chaos and interaction, and on YouTube it's structured designs and explanations. And I think that works best for both platforms. So I hope you like that idea. But it also means that if you want more and be part of the design process, that's over on Twitch. You can see links in the description below. That was the one generic thing. The other generic thing is, if we look at the blueprints are here. Let me see if I can take those down. Yeah, I think this is the link to the one in... Let me see, this is in blueprint storage. Okay, so I'll have this blueprint book that is linked in my description of the videos, and it will basically be having some generic blueprints, and it'll have the blueprints down here. This is just from episode 1. That will be 2 of these, the jumpstart base and the power. So I'll basically give you the blueprints at the end of the episode. So I'm not going to be building them. I'm going to take, after the done recording, I'm going to make them into nice crisp blueprints. You can see these coordinates up front, and I just need to explain that in case you're not familiar with coordinate systems. I'm going to define this as the 0.0 in a coordinate system. And then on the x-axis, we have 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. And on the y-axis, we have 0, 1, 2, and so on, and -1. So when you have this location, it is now on the x-axis, it's -1, and on the y-axis, it's 0. That means, hopefully, if I did it right, jumpstart should be -1, 0. And likewise, power is -2, and +1 on the y-axis. If you're not familiar with coordinate systems, I don't know how to explain it any better, but this was just a reminder on why it is like that, so that when you see a blueprint, you know exactly where it's supposed to be placed if you're building along with this build. So this is trying to make it as modular and as structured as possible. That was the 2 generic things. Let's talk about what we want to do today. So I want to make sure that we transition from the jumpstart base into the design for our future builds. And that means we are going to build some copper mining here. We're going to build some iron mining here. We might actually build some steel mining as well. And we're going to establish the bus with the number of things that we want to have on there. And maybe do the first thing on the bus here as well. So it's very much about sort of how do you transition from your jumpstart base into a very structured base that's going to last us for basically the rest of the game, and also be able to do some upgrades on. So these ones I can now take out because we don't need those anymore. It's very nice to be already in the second episode starting to remove things that we have. So what I want is, I want to go up here, take my early game smelting, and I'm going to scroll up and find, this is the default smelting. So this is from my Smelting Master Class, in case you're like, that looks cool. Where does that come from? The answer is from a masterclass. And I love this design, and I love it together with City Block. It is absolutely phenomenal. So if I build it like this, I can see that on the left-hand side, okay, I can just place it because no robots are going to do any work for us. Here, you can see that the coal is coming from the top and go merging in here and moving on to the next one. That also means that if I build one more of those, I can make them 2 next to each other. They tile perfectly. And the idea is that it will tile all the way down here. But this should be enough. So that is what I want on this side. What I then want to do is take this copy, and I go over here, and then I will press the F key for flipping. The G key is used for clipping. That is the horizontal. So F is flipping along the vertical axis, and G is flipping along the horizontal axis. So those are pretty decent to use. So that my idea here now is I want to build those things, and once those things are built, then it is we need to feed in some materials in. So I want to feed in materials. This will be this iron part. We're going to get some coal over here. We're going to get coal in here. We're going to get copper. And that means what we need to do is build up a lot of this. All of this has to be replaced. And those are just some things that we need to do. I can take these out. I can take all of this out as well and start making the copper here. But I think that it really quickly gets into the point where it's going to be taking a lot of time. We are going to be building this, and then when we I'll come back to, yeah, so let's build this and start looking at where we can get materials in. And so I've been laying down the foundation. Well, technically, yes, I have been laying down at least the city blocks are now established, and we have these two built here. This is the copper build, and over here we have the iron build. Also been dragging belts across and putting up the mining here and there. Yeah, there have been some incursions. That is what happens. And what we now need to do is just hook it up. There isn't really much about this. It's just belt spaghettiing in and out here. So I think that's a fair thing to just lightly skip over. There. And we get the iron and copper inbound here. We're going to go to the other side and go, I'm just going to shoot that one. And we'll go all the way over. Oh, if only I had my car. So let me just use this awesome feature here. You can get a ping here. This is the car finder made by Jeff from the community, who just thought I missed my car once too many. It's been known to lose my car, so now there's a mod for finding my car again. Really nice. And we're going to be taking a night stroll. That one has a purpose because that's going to be the bus build. And over here we have exactly the same for iron as we have for copper. We'll be using a lot more iron than copper. So I'm taking 2 lanes in. I'm going to take 1 more extra line in for the steel that we will invariably make. But first it's about getting the iron and copper up and running. Look at that. Smooth driving. And the thing is, I'm also driving much better on my local system than I am when I'm playing on a server. So we're going to put this down because I'm going to have 4 lanes of iron. Look at that, populating here like progress bars. And then down here, I'll have 4 lanes making steel. So I don't need to worry about that yet. But what I do need to worry about is the eventuality that in the future, I am going to have some... Oh, I can't even build it. I wonder if... Couldn't I do that? I can't click things that I haven't unlocked yet. Okay, only if they're blueprints. So there will be a place where I will need to have some roboports. So if I look at this one, you can see that the roboport wants to be placed on top of where it can't be. That's kind of sad, but you know, it can still be at this location. So this part should be reserved for a roboport, and I want this part to be our outbound, the 4 lanes outbound from these. So I can do that and just make it really close. Does that make sense? So I'm preparing this design for when we need to put in roboports. Very important. It's kind of one of the key things about this design here, this base, is that I want to make something that is kind of future-proof, and therefore I rely on some of the designs I've been using before. And damn it, why are we being attacked all the time? All right, that's kind of how it is with this this base. Oops. And I gotta say, I'm never really protecting my bases adequately, and there we go. And that is quite deliberate. If you are playing a normal build, a normal non-Death World series, then you really don't need a lot of defenses if you're building sort of at a decent speed. If you're building really slow, then you're going to need more. I am going to... That was not a repair pack. Look at the biters. They're just destroying my base. Damn biters. So that one grenade dealt more damage than all the biters together. Oh, never mind. That repair pack. Okay. Wait. I generally protect my radars because they have a tendency to attack radars because they are counting as military buildings, so they have higher priority. But in this case, yeah, I don't really want to go into too much biter killing. That does mean though that they are within our pollution range. Yep, that one. That means they're gonna keep attacking. Let's ignore it for a while, like it's a health problem, and then at some point we'll just maybe realize that we probably shouldn't be ignoring it. Okay, so what we want here is a balancer, and this is where things get a bit weird because it is so tempting to make my normal balancer, the one we built. Oh, let's take this one, but that one does not lane balance. So if I take this here, it's not really going to cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take blue balancers, and I'm going to be, this is Rainquist balancer book. I have that available somewhere. Okay, there's got to be something here. That's not it. There you go. There we go. That's the one. So I want that one in here, and then because it's blue and we kind of don't really have blue belts yet, we are going to do that. Downgrade. I drag with the right mouse button, then I automatically do the opposite of what the upgrade planner would do if you do the left click. So if you do left click, it upgrades. If you do right click, then it downgrades. And then we can build it. This weird balancer is actually a 4x4 side balancer and lane balancer. What this means is that if there is an uneven draw on the demand, which there very often will be when I build a bus base, then this one will compensate for it and make sure that the draw on the origin side, on this side, is going to be even nonetheless. And that's super important because otherwise you really don't get your full value out of your smelting capacity. And this is now when we get into some of the more difficult stuff. Do I have a lot of this? Yes, I do. Okay, so we're now going to establish the bus, and there's a lot of thought going into this as well. At least some thought. Because the first thing we need to do is define how our bus should look like, because that's going to dictate everything from here on. I want, and this is going to be end state, I want 16 lanes of copper, I want 12 lanes of iron, and I want 2 lanes of steel. That is the objective for what I want. So we should start by defining this. Do I even have the circuit, this one? Yeah, but I don't have all the ingredients for it. That kind of sucks. If only I had, like, you know, like iron here and copper somewhere else, then maybe I could make it myself. There. I'm just gonna make one. And, oops, you go in there. Let's get a few of these, because that will show us here. So I'm gonna have the bus. This is how I always make the bus when I make a city block build. These are gonna come in here, they're gonna come in here, and 4 lanes, and then a jump because I worked with yellow belts, and it works fine with everything else as well. So that's why I do this. And do I have these? Yeah, I use these for one purpose, and that is just to indicate what I want on each belt. So for example, like this, which is obviously not what I want. I want, in this case, I want copper. So out here, I want copper and iron like this, and on the other side, I want copper and iron opposite. So iron goes in here. Obviously, with 2 lanes here and 2 lanes here, I'm not going to fill up 8 lanes yet. And some of the middle ones will also be reserved for iron and copper, but that's very late game. Then I should look at what are the other things that I want to make. How many did I make? I have 5. I can't even make more. Just got to get some more. Got to get more of the copper over here. And also remember to get my car, because suddenly I'm needing it if we're getting attacked. There. Let's get a few more. So this is just to indicate what I want, so that we kind of get a sense for it. Kind of, maybe I want to build it like this. Because then it doesn't matter. I can't jump over it anyway. I could build it on a bus, but that's not going to happen. There. And then the next one on this side will be steel. Steel, and please make some of these for me so I can actually get this stuff working. because I have sort of a common way of doing it. There. That will be stone bricks. And that will be stone, raw stone. Yep. Then the next ones will be coal and more coal. And then the next one will probably be plastic. And then also plastic. Then we can go over to the other side again. Because I'm going to start from the sides. And these four will be greens. And the next, which I don't even have, but you know. There will be red, 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 and I don't know what else will be there, but there'll be something. See, this is much better for actually doing it. And then I'll have this part for liquids, just kind of illustrating. I think I'll do that one. I'll do the things we need on the bus. We're going to need light oil. For the eventual rocket fuel, we're going to need petroleum. Do we need petroleum? I guess we do. We're gonna do. Okay, that's kind of the kind of something wrong here. I'm gonna come back to that as we get closer because I also need sulfuric acid as well. But anyway, the point is that at this point, I want to make sure that my iron comes in here, and I will make some balancer right before. And then you're going to be like, what? Didn't you just do a balancer? Yeah. I do love my balancer. I am ascribing to the, we call it the Thanos School of Balancing. It is perfectly balanced as all things should be. And now you will see, I'm going to do that thing. Here. And that goes up. And that allows us to sort of pretend that we have more belts, and we can then go 4 belts up here. And it's of course only going to get 2 belts in, but I like having it like this. And what are we going to do with the other 2 lanes? Well, I'm going to drag them over to the other side, kicking and screaming. They're going to be like this. Oops. How many? I hope I have enough. Okay. And then I can take this blueprint here, and then I flip it, and then I place it on the side, because that's going to be exactly the same. Yeah. So what we're going to do is on this part, on this, okay, I also need to remember that I need here. So a lot of this is being extremely diligent, I would call it, about how much to do balancing and just making sure that you get it set up correctly. So this distance is so that when I have blue belts, that I can pull them further back from the bus or from the sacred path, which I think is nice. Here. And that will be the copper going in. And again, it won't be full belt, but I can pretend it's full belt, and then I feel better. And what I'm going to do with the other ones, what am I going to do with the iron coming in here? Well, wouldn't that be cool if I could just get it? Oh, how did that mess up? Oh no, the whole thing is wrong. Oh, everything is awful. Okay, let me fix. And it's now moved back there. And we can then go up, and this one goes up. So these are now aligned with each other, and then on this side I can then go the other way. Let's first get all of the copper in here. I really like this pattern here, and I think it's one pattern that I don't have to change much. I can upgrade, yes, but I don't need to sort of deliberately change it later on. That one, and this one, and this one, and then the rest. Just these. There's a lot of rotating belts. They are there. Good. So that is now coming in. It should be 2 in, 2 out. And oh, right. If I did this one correctly, then it would actually work. So these should be like 4 half belts. And this one will then go all the way over again to the other side. Basically, the reason why I'm doing it this way, even in the beginning, is because I'm going to use iron and copper for 2 things in the beginning. The first thing I need iron and copper for is, let me just check if that I don't go too far. And that's going to go here. The first ones I need iron and copper for is for the bus on this side. No, sorry, for the hub on this side. And on the other side, it will be for the green circuits. And green circuits actually need a lot, but it's not going to be active very often or very much until we get later on. So I will be able to consume a lot and produce a lot of green circuits if we get there, when we get there, but I won't be able to, I want to be able to also get the copper. Do I really need all 4 lanes of copper? Maybe I don't need 4 lanes of copper. Maybe I just pretend that it's 2 lanes. It's just fine because the other one will be stuck. Okay, so that was, if we look at what we've done now, we have now done iron and copper done. And what we need to do is continue with the steel. And then we're going to get some other things in. We're going to get coal inbound. We're going to get stone and stone bricks inbound. And those will be heading up here. And then we'll build the first green circuits. That's going to be a good place to, sort of a good achievement here. So the first thing we want to do, let's do that from the map view. We can actually do that. It's actually easier from the map view. We're going to go back to smelting and then we're going to select this big one. This is our steel production. And the reason why I like this particular steel production in favor of any other ones, I know there are many like it, but this one is mine. And the reason why I like this one is because it, yeah, you can't see it until we actually go over and blow up everything and build it. Yeah, so let's clean this out and build it so you can see why I prefer this one. So here's the steel build now completed, taking out all of the trees and blow them up, and we'll take out this part, let's see, and I'll also repair this one. Good. So each of these, the reason why I like them is because they are perfectly aligned with this location here. I'm going to make sure we are actually going to take this part inbound. This will be for, why? Oh, there. Oh, I thought I made a mistake. Okay, I'm gonna take this, jump, 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 and here, jump, 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 and inbound. Yes. And we will, for good measure, just do this part, even though it has no value at all. That one. Here. And here. So that goes in here, and now we just need to get the iron in, and I did pick a third one. Okay, so the reason why I like this design in favor of the ones that are double is because this one is taking exactly the same width as the iron, exactly the same length as the iron, which means that it fits perfectly in my city block. So you will be able to see that if I do this and then stamp it down here, it fits perfect. There is no gap at all, and that is pretty damn amazing. So that's why I want to build it like that. I'm going to take that out because I don't want it. But what I do want is to make sure that, again, we need to cater for the eventual roboports. And if I do that, then it's going to misplace it. How do I do that? I guess I have to do this. So it has to be on this length and in there. Good. Unfortunately, this has now meant that I have lights in the corners that I don't want. So let me just get those lights out. There, lights out, lights out, lights out. There. Oh no, don't take that out. Good. So what I need to make sure is that I can assume that I have this one here as well. There. Oh yeah, that was not really, it looks better like this. Then I can actually see it. So this will go, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to do it like this. And that's gonna be the center. Yay, look at that. We got the first bit of steel. So in this part, this might be something where you think, oh man, you're spending a lot of time on something really small here, and you're spending a lot of infrastructure. Yeah, that is one of the things that I do. I spend a lot of time on infrastructure because I know that the infrastructure will help us, and what you'll see in a couple of episodes is basically how easy it's going to be for us to be building things once we just have the infrastructure in place and everything we need on the bus. And you can see here, that's now the steel coming up. I don't know if I should make it on two lanes. I probably shouldn't. So what we need to do now is also make sure that we have, this one is actually the coal. So we can just do that one. It's a bit risky because I'm using my coal for feeding the iron, but I just don't have it anymore. We're going to get 2 more things, and that is going to be, I'm just going to blow this up. Come on. Ow! Biters are destroying my base. Yeah, look at how biters have just absolutely destroyed my base. I'm actually still doing more damage to myself than the biters are, so that's kind of lovely. I'm a self-made man. Yep, that's now fixed. Okay, so we can basically just take this one and be happy about it, and then go, I don't know. Is there any reason why we wouldn't want it like all the way close to this? I don't really know. I don't think so, but we'll do this. And I will go from this side. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Maybe we'll just make it a bit ugly here. This is one of those things that depends on how you built your initial thing. But we'll do it this way. It just needs to get out here. It's again not being consumed in vast quantities. The reason why I get the stone out is because that is going to be needed for railway tracks in our hub whenever we get there. So that's again. And we will then need to continue our bus further upwards with all the lines we now have established. And there and there. So we get this upwards, because what we have now is everything we need for red, green, and military science, which will definitely be the next objective, to get red, green, and military science operational. And we also have over on the side, yep, we do have just a bit of work on this. So let's, what we need to do now is get this done, get all of this dragged up to here. Actually also take all of this out so that we can make the green circuits here. That's going to be the end point, so we get the first things off the bus in this episode. Let's prepare the bus for that. So you can see the bus has now been extended. That took quite a while because we needed to produce more of the yellow belts. They are now done. We're going to do a short supply run. I think we have everything we need to go up here. And yeah, oh, there's one thing we do not have that I really want. Oh, that's it's going to be horrible, by the way. That is going to be this one. Yeah. And oof, someone has been building quite a bit too many of these. I think I need to build a lot of these myself. So we are going to handcraft a lot of these, and iron sticks. That's just iron. We can get some iron here. Yeah, so we're going to have to handcraft a lot of these while we are going up. It's funny how... And then it's copper. Okay, I do know copper, so we can take some of this. It's just here. Alright, so that should be enough. Let's head up here, and I'll just take a few of these so I don't have to accidentally craft that should I be needing it for something. Cool. So we go up here. This is going to be the green circuit build, and the green circuit build also has to be prepared for the future. Oh, look at that one. The green circuit build is also coming from my master class, and this is the default one we want, but I need to see, this is the scaling up with the full yellow belts coming in, and this is full red belts coming in. And if, in order for me to build this, I have to make sure that I do it like this, because otherwise it starts being really, really close to the hub. So I take this and then I remove it again, but then I know now where the inputs are. Then I can go back. Oops. That one, that's the simplest one. Boom, we built that. And that's the one we now have to fill out. And we are going to start by getting some copper in. Boom. Oh, I should not have built them all the way up. Oh, well, because these belts have to be exclusive. I will, yeah. There. This will just be the very first simple build we make. That one, getting number 2. Ah, man, how much did I build? Too much. So I'm taking 2 belts in here just for now, and I'm going to change that to 3 belts later on when I scale it up. But right now, it's all a matter of just getting some of these built. It's going to be very nice. Just getting the green circuits built, and then we can actually say not only have we built the bus, but we've also, not only have we populated the bus, but we've also started drawing from it. Just the very first thing. I know it's not much, but yeah, every little thing counts. And the most iconic thing that you build in the early game is you build your green circuits. And you build your damn green circuits so they can upgrade. And that's what we've done here. We have now reserved this entire city block just for green circuits, because green circuits you will always need more. As soon as you start the blue circuits, then yeah, you realize that you kind of need just a bit more than what you have. And let's see. So that one goes here and in. And it should also be a dedicated line. And I should also have a dedicated line. Yep. Nope. That one. That should be a dedicated line. And I don't want to get any of these further up north. I might leave one of them, but I really don't think so. This is why I need copper on both sides, because I don't want to have my hub starved because I'm making green circuits, and I don't want my green circuit starved because I'm building something in the hub, building more belts, for example. So that's why I build it like this. Nope, and that. Just changing hotkeys all the time. And then back. Isn't it easier just to do this? I think so. And then afterwards, remembering that they insert into the splitters. That's just better. And that goes now out. And that's going to populate more things on the bus for us right here. That'll be, if this one was jumping, that means it's going to be that one and that one. And that's going to be some massive amounts of green. Well, massive by our little base standard here. There. So what I think I have shown you in this episode is how to go building the main bus in very, very strict sequencing. Build the iron and copper. Get it in here. You could build iron and copper, get this one, but I'm building the steel as well because I want to show in this episode how to build the bus. And right now, if I want to build the hub, if I want to build the science, which will be up here, if I want to build red circuits, I can't do that. But that means we are super ready to start scaling up. So this is a necessary thing. Spend the time on doing it and make sure that you have an adequate room, because this one will be copper, and then stone bricks down here. Eventually when I move it, this will be iron and steel, iron and steel, iron and steel. And that will pretty much be a good balance for all of the stuff we need. And then, yeah, this is our new little base. I'm really happy with how it is. I'm really happy with what it looks like. I will, of course, be providing you with blueprints. The blueprints will look somewhat like this one does. I mean, I'm going to provide this blueprint, this blueprint, this blueprint. I don't know if you also want the bus blueprints, but it kind of, I don't think it's really needed, because that's the kind of branching in and out that you need. I think I'm going to skip the this blueprint, because they're going to be updated all the time. But I think I'll reserve the 3 blueprints out here, the ones that we've designed, the iron and steel, the copper, and the green circuits. So that's going to be wrapping up this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've maybe learned a thing, being inspired. And of course, then we'll continue in the next episode with the science, and then the hub, and then oil, and so on and so forth, and then trains. And yeah, there's a ton of things we need to do. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I will looking forward to see you again in the next episode, or maybe over on Twitch streams where I'm streaming. I'm streaming Factorio Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, and then Factorio Satisfactory or some other game the other nights. So hope to see you. Take care. And as always, stay effective.